Hey, what's up, family? Welcome to another video. Can you do a favor for me? Can you hit that like button? Please subscribe to the channel. I would definitely appreciate it. Before we get into the video, I'd just like to remind you all that I am a published author. I have a book on Amazon. The name of it is called Descent into Chaos. This is an action, thriller, suspense, mysterious book. I think you would really like it. Matter of fact, I wrote this book back in 2005, and I just republished it through Amazon. You can purchase the book either on Kindle, or you can buy the book just like this on the hardcover. Very nice book. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. Also, it's published through Ingram Sparks. This is their format. It's just a little bit bigger. You can find this, you can just type in Descent into Chaos, Anthony Matthews. If you type that in on Google search, you will get also, there's different bookstores and people out there that are selling this book. So I guarantee you won't be disappointed. Or you can buy it on Amazon, and you can find that link right down on the description. I'm just trying to find some ways of helping my channel to expand. Okay, I do have a quick book trailer, so I'm going to show this to you right quick, and then we're going to jump into the video.
Hoorah! 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 Hoorah!
How did we miss this? How could we let this happen?
Okay, yeah, okay, let's jump into the video now. In this video, I want to talk about, I think that's something very important. I would like to tell you all about there's still the problem of tourists. Men are still getting scoped in Medellin, Colombia. But the first thing I want you to do, please like and subscribe to DC Born Rob's channel. It's called DC Born Rob in Obiland. Okay, these guys give very good information about Medellin, on how to stay safe in Medellin. I'm hearing some very disturbing things that's still happening. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to point out some red flags that this guy on Obiland, he made. I'm not here to make him feel bad. I'm not here to troll. I'm not here to make nobody look bad. But I'm going to point out some very important mistakes that I saw in this video about what he did. And this is very, very important. So as I play the video, I'm going to do the commentary too.
Unfortunate news to have to pass on again. Another American has been found deceased in Medellin, this time in the Laureles neighborhood. Authorities have opened an investigation to determine the cause of the foreigner's passing. An American citizen who was found deceased in a room in a home located in the Laureles Comuna, in events that are the subject of investigation by authorities. According to initial reports, the discovery occurred around 9:50 a.m. on Monday, August 4th, when the police patrol was alerted to the situation. The tourist was apparently staying at a property rented through an app located near Carrera 71 and Circular 5. According to this information, the man was identified as Williams Jason Edwards and is 41 years old. Now that may be backwards because sometimes they will scramble the names depending upon which could be first. According to initial reports, gathered by the authorities, the foreigner is believed to have gone out the night before with a friend on a date with two women. According to initial reports gathered by authorities, the foreigner is believed to have gone out the night before with a friend on a date with two women they had contacted through a dating app.
And I have told you multiple times that dating apps is very dangerous in Medellin. More people has been unalive and drugged and unalive and robbed because of the dating apps. And DC Born Rob has said this multiple times to stay off the dating apps. Stay off the dating apps. In this next video, I'm going to bring out some things that I think that you should know. The mistakes that this guy made. This is an Obiland video. Obiland does a really good job. He gives very good documentaries. And if you listen to Obiland, you avoid a lot of heartache and a lot of danger. So I'm going to point out the mistakes that this guy made, in this Obiland video. Okay? That's going to protect you from getting into a real bad situation. I've been to Medellin multiple times, and I follow these same directions. And believe me, this will save your life if you still plan on going. So here we go.
It's December, almost Christmas in Medellin, and this scopolamine queen believes she has found another victim. But she was wrong, as this particular encounter will trigger off a set of events that will completely change her life. After drugging her victim using scopolamine or another sedative, driven by greed, she disappears with his belongings without care if he lives or he dies.
You hear that? They don't care if you live or die. And I've said this many times, they rate you as a 0. She didn't even care. She didn't even at least she could have called the EMS or something for somebody to, to come back and check on them or something. But they don't care. They cold-blooded. Cold-blooded.
As she waits for her accomplices, she doesn't realize that her actions will have consequences. Her name is Maria Alejandra Salgado Ortega, and she has been a menace to hundreds of tourists in Medellin and in different cities in Colombia.
These women, they really get around. This is just one of them. You got these women all over Colombia doing this stuff. Now, I'm not saying all the women down there are doing this. They're not. Not all of them, but some. And quite a few of them.
For many years, she had been drugging and robbing victims with impunity, sneaking in and out of apartments without any fear of justice, leaving her victims dazed and confused, wondering what had just happened. But she had gone against the wrong one, and in a quest for justice, he wasn't about to let her go freely. They always lie and claim it's a false accusation when they've been caught, but this time, things are gonna end up extremely different for this scopolamine queen. Some say that it's all a show and that Obiland never actually put any of these demons behind bars. And so if you know, you know. In tears after being caught in a city-wide investigation where the Obiland team provided significant information, this scopolamine queen's life would change forever. She had drugged and robbed the wrong victim, and as a consequence is facing years behind bars. And so this is the story of Maria Ortega and how her victim Fritz and the Obiland team helped bring her to justice.
I was in search of love, I thought, I'll go to Colombia, I'll meet the girl of my dreams. And
see, that's the first mistake. That's the first mistake. And like I said, I'm not slamming on this guy. I wish he could have found love. I wish he could have done that. This is nothing. I'm not making him look bad. I'm not saying that he deserved this or anything. Nobody deserves to get drugged and robbed. It can't happen to anyone. But the first mistake that foreigners make before they come down there, they think that they're going to find love immediately. Because that's what I believed in. The first time I went to Colombia, the dream that I heard is that you got all these submissive women down here, and they're looking for American men, and they want to get married. They want you to sweep them off their feet. That's a big lie. It's not that. So the first mistake that he made is he's thinking that these girls in Colombia was going to change his life. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, that's not the case. It usually don't happen like that. That's the first mistake that he made. Don't ever go on there thinking that, you're American and that, these women are so naive and they're waiting for you to come and rescue them. No. Like I said, some of them rate you as a 0. The girl that drugged him didn't care how much of the scopolamine she gave them. She didn't care. She was off to her next victim.
Stay there with her as long as I need to, maybe help her get a visa or a work visa with my company to come back to the United States. I mean, I know it was probably all wishful thinking now that I've been here a while. I feel violated, and a guy like me might take it harder because I like to feel like I'm in control, and I probably feel feelings of revenge more than the average guy. I don't know, I'm really angry about it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still really angry about it. No one likes to be robbed. I probably take something like that more personal than most.
Maria Alejandra Salgado Ortega, a devious scopolamine queen based in Medellin, Colombia.
Had a rough couple past few years. I moved to a very remote area of the Midwest from Miami, Florida. And I started a real estate company there.
A successful businessman.
He was a successful businessman. He came from the States. He had a very bad relationship in the States. And I do understand. Sometimes you want to start something, better, go to another country, and maybe start all over again. But let me tell you something. Some of these women in these countries, they will play you. They will play you.
Fritz is the idea of traveling outside the United States in a bid to escape the pressure he'd been facing mentally back home.
I'd been seeing, different advertisements and content on Instagram and Facebook about Medellin, Colombia, and it seemed like kind of the new single guy's dream destination.
No, it's not a dream destination. No, it's not. I don't know what content he was watching, but Colombia is a beautiful country, but it's not no dreamland for single men. It's not. It could be a very dangerous place for single men.
And so Fritz and his friends will book a flight to Medellin, Colombia.
Decided to book a flight and come down here. So we flew down. I had heard about the dangers of Americans coming down here, and I had heard about this drug that girls will put in a drink and then they'll rob you, but I didn't think it would ever happen to me.
They always say that. That's the classic denial that foreigners have when they come down there. Come down to Medellin. It never happened to me. I heard that so many times. And he knew the danger. He knew the danger, but he still took a chance.
They decided to go back to the United States on our scheduled return flight. I decided I wasn't quite ready to leave and was not looking forward to going back to the cold, the snow, and a lonely, empty house by myself. So I decided to stay by myself, and that's what led into me meeting a girl on Bumble.
That's the second mistake. He was on the app called Bumble. Stay away from the dating apps. Stay away from the dating apps.
Fritz would then open up the Bumble application where he'll come across Maria's profile. She was using a fake name. The two will later match and they will arrange for a date in Provenza.
We were supposed to meet earlier for dinner. She kept blowing me off and pushing the time back and pushing the time back. And next thing I know, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and she's calling me.
That's another red flag. That's the biggest red flag. If a girl talk about they want to meet you 3 o'clock in the morning, that's not a good thing. That's a major red flag. Because the good women in Colombia is not going to meet you at 3 o'clock in the morning. And that's basically when all the bars and things were closing down. If she's talking about meeting you after the bars and things close, that is a danger red flag. Danger.
Wanting to meet up, I thought, well, I got nothing to lose and didn't really think of anything suspicious.
And so Fritz headed to Provenza. He only lived 30 seconds away, and so he felt he had nothing to lose as he made a quick walk and waited for Maria.
But I did meet up with her, and it was in the Provenza area where there's a lot of restaurants. Although she kind of stayed hidden, called me, wanted me to meet her.
And so Fritz will wait for Maria in Provenza.
Now that's kind of scary right there. He's in Provenza. The bars are closing down, the restaurants are closing down, and people are leaving. That's another red flag.
Waiting patiently, it will take some time before Maria finally appears.
When I saw her, I realized quickly that it was not the girl in the facial photos of the ad. The body photos I could recognize, but the face, she really had a lot of plastic surgery done. Kind of looked like a bulldog or kind of a pug dog. She was not very attractive at all, but she did have a very nice figure. She seemed really nice. She was dressed really nice. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, and normally I would have been like, no thank you, and turned and walked away, but I thought, well, let me just have a drink with her.
And so Fritz tried to make the most of this impromptu date as they looked around Provenza for any bars or restaurants that were still open.
We found out that most of the bars were closed. She wanted to go right back to my apartment.
That's another red flag. Another major red flag. When she suggests to go to your place, that's a red. Right then and there, he should have dropped her. He should have ran away. And that would have saved him so much heartache. If a woman suggests, this is very important. I'm telling you, because these are the signs that you're going to get scoped, that you're going to get drugged. If you meet a woman 3 o'clock in the morning, okay, and you meet her somewhere, and she's talking about she wants to come to your place at 3 o'clock in the morning at your place, that's a red flag. You're going to get scoped. There's 100% probability that she's going to rob you.
Which I was okay with, and so we did that.
At 3:49 a.m. in the morning, Fritz and Maria will arrive back at his apartment. He was unaware that this woman, Maria, is very dangerous and that this encounter will prove to be very costly.
Yeah, they're very dangerous. This is dangerous. Did you know also in 2024, there were over 70 fatalities related to scopolamine poisoning. 70 from America. So this stuff is happening all the time across Medellin and some parts of Colombia. Guys getting drugged and robbed, and it happened so fast. The girls appear to be so nice, but they're not what you think they are.
And immediately upon getting into the apartment, she wanted something to drink. And
Final red flag. final red flag. Final red flag. If a woman offers you something to drink, you're going to get scoped. You're going to get scoped. And the part that I don't understand is that he passed all these red flags. There were signs after signs after signs after signs. I don't know if these women have some type of, some type of hypnotic type of powers. Because this happens, the same people that get scoped, they talk about the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like they become very passive in their presence. And they become so easygoing. And they forget all the security protocols, all of them. But when a female, and not just in Colombia, anywhere, if you have company in your house or you on a date and then some female comes and brings you something to drink, that's a red flag. You're going to get drugged.
I really didn't have much. My friends had just left a couple days prior. There was some old stale Coca-Cola in the fridge in a liter bottle.
And so this is the point we believe that Maria would lace Fritz's drink with a sedative, most likely clonazepam. As she heads back to where Fritz is sitting, he is completely unaware.
I sat on the couch and started watching some music videos on YouTube, and then she started giving me a massage and commenting on, oh, you look like you work out a lot, and oh, you must be tense, let me give you a massage. And that was fine, that was nice. And she continuously tried to get me to have a sip of her drink.
That was dangerous. That's it. That's it. She's going to put. I don't understand that he didn't know this. That's the part that I don't understand. And like I said, I'm not trolling this guy. I really admire him for going on the Obi-Land show and explaining this, but I just don't understand. He saw all the warning signs. If a woman got a cup in her hand and she's persistent that you drink, it's poison.
And I didn't want any. I don't like Coca-Cola, and especially, some old Coke that had been sitting in the fridge with no fizz in it anymore. I just wasn't interested. So I continuously was saying no, no, no. Finally, she got up, she took the drink, come from behind me when I wasn't really paying attention, put her hand under my chin, leaned my head back, and poured some of it got in my mouth. The rest of it poured all down my chin and neck. And I kind of got up and got a towel and cleaned myself off. And
I would have ran and got help right then and there. I would have called 911. I would have called 911, called the police. He should have called the police right away. You got drugged. You got drugged, sir.
Told her not to do that again, and then I sat back down and I started to think this was all getting really suspicious.
No, I wouldn't have sat back down. I would have left and got help. And then what you would have done was, if you initiated the police to come or something, or call for help, or anybody, that would have spooked her and she would have left.
Vicious, and I started to wonder if she had drugged me, but I didn't taste anything weird.
You don't have to taste
And
nothing.
I started to wonder, and I actually remember telling myself, this is maybe how I'm going to die.
Forcing the drink into Fritz's mouth, it appears that Maria had struck again.
And then I thought, well, I didn't really drink enough. I mean, it was a little bit that slid down my throat. It couldn't have been enough. The back massage and head scratches and everything, neck massage she was doing felt really good. And I just thought that maybe I was overreacting a little bit or overthinking a little bit, and that this nice girl wouldn't do that to me.
And so, with no immediate effects of the drug.
And see, this is what happened. I don't understand that these guys, I don't know, it's like they become hypnotized with these women. It's like they become completely, they become like all their defenses is just gone. Here it is, she pours something down your throat. I don't know, this is weird, but these women, they are very beautiful. They are. And they can hypnotize you. I believe he was hypnotized.
Fritz believed that he was wrong and that Maria had no malicious intent.
We sat there for a while, watched another music video, and then she asked if we could go in the bedroom. She wanted to give me a full body massage. She was continuously complimenting me on my physique and this and that, and you know, she knew what she.
And one thing I noticed about these women, they're very crafty. Very crafty. They know exactly what to say. They know exactly what to do. And it seemed like they just hit all these targets.
She was doing. And so I remember I plugged my phone in, laid down on the bed. She started giving me a back massage, and that was it. I woke up probably 15 hours later, shot up out of bed in this fog. I couldn't put together really where I was.
Confused, Fritz would wake up 15 hours later, wondering what had happened. Not much of an alcohol drinker, he immediately suspected that he had been drugged.
Unfortunately, he woke up and he found out that he had been robbed and drugged. But check the video out. It's on Obiland's channel. The girl did get caught eventually. She did go to jail, you know, so she was caught, you know, but it's a very interesting story. I think you guys would really like the story on Obiland's channel, you know, but I don't think he got none of his money back. But make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, and make sure you subscribe to DC Boy Rob and Obiland's channel. And like I said, man, you gotta be careful out there. You gotta be careful out there because this is still happening in Medellin. You know, you have multiple tourists, especially men, are being drugged and robbed, and also some of them are becoming unalived. You know, so make sure you all be careful, okay? All right, take care.